A lot of you may not think that someone with such an intimidating presence as I have, and the huge, muscular arms I have, that I would ever be bullied or anything. But in 7th grade, I was a 76-pound, 4'10", little guy, and it was like me now going against, Mr. Universe. The school bully was, the generic movie all-star football player. I played football in 7th grade as well. It started whenever they decided that they wanted to pick on my little brother, who was in 6th grade, also decided to do football. I heard something going on in the bathroom, so I went in there and, I saw they had shut off the lights and, locked up the stalls and locked the door and tried to keep them in there. So I walked in, I turned on the lights, I told them to back off and told my brother to go. And, they said a couple things, what are you doing, you're messing with us. So they got angry, but I ignored them and I walked away. Since that happened, they decided to make me the new target. So around school, they would bother me if they saw me, here and there. I didn't really mind it too much. When I went to football practice, he would always try to scare and intimidate me, because, he'd been playing, out of the womb. He'd been playing for so long. And so he was always saying, I'm going to get you, you're next, you're not going to be happy. And everyone would always come up to me and, warn me, all his little buddies. But, I thought nothing of it. I'd talk trash back to him sometimes. But first day of pads came around, when you got to get ready to hit. And they want you to warm up and get used to the pads and get broken in. So it was all hitting drills that entire day. And so he waited at the front of the line, the other line, until I got up to the line. Then he jumped in. So I was carrying the football and I was supposed to just run. And he was just supposed to come at me, about 20 yards and just nail me, take me down. So first hit, he hits me, I get back up, whatever, but I felt pain, right here. So I was a little nervous, but, I walked back and I asked my friend if he saw a scratch or anything. He said no. So I knew, it had to be like an internal problem. And I instantly thought, I think I broke my collarbone. So that was my first instinct. And I was like, but I don't want to give up because then they're going to think I'm, he hurt me, I'm scared. So I didn't want to give. So for the rest of the practice, the rest of the 2 hours of just slamming into each other where he waited from the line, hit me every time, I went through that practice. I felt the pain, but I didn't want to back down. So after practice ended, I went back up, put my stuff away, got in the car, sat down, looked at my mom, and just said, hey, we need to go to the hospital. And she was like, why? And I said, I'm pretty sure I broke my collarbone. And she was like, what makes you say that? And I said, I just know. So we went to the hospital, and they did an x-ray. Sure enough, my collarbone snapped right in half, was broken in two, and it was bad, and it hurt, but that was basically the end result. To avoid this, getting bullied in high school, I went in and, between 8th and 9th grade, I gained 50 pounds. I went on a diet, I worked out to, hopefully avoid that in the future. But the moral of the story is not actually something that I learned, but something I hope all of you have learned for future, that to never back down and to always stand up for what you believe in and stay strong. And, I may have broken my collarbone after it, but I gained a lot of respect from all the players. Every time I got hit and I got right back up, everyone applauded for me. Throughout the week, people would come up, oh, I heard about this at practice, congratulate, good, awesome, good job, because everyone knew who was the bully. And, I stood up to him. So, yeah.